Now the history exam is going on. The history teacher asks Vasakov, tell me, candidate, answer this question. How long did the 30 years war last? Now the history teacher is asking him the silliest question possible. What's the question? How long did the 30 years war last? This is the silliest question because the answer is there in the question itself. It's a ridiculous question. It's a stupid question which can be answered by anybody very, very easily. So the history teacher asks such a question to Vasakov because he does not want him to fail in the exam. So the history teacher asks, how long did the 30 years war last? Vasakov, hearing the question, he almost said that. Then he checks himself. He comes out with the answer, but then he remembers that if he gives the right answer, he'll pass in the exam. He wants to fail. Unless he fails, he won't get his tuition fees back. So he checks himself. He interrupts himself by saying, sorry, I mean to say I don't know the answer. He almost gave the answer. Remembering that he is there to fail, he changes his answer. Now he says, I mean to say, I don't know. The history master encourages him to come out with the right answer. He says, come on, please answer my question. I'm sure you know the answer. Give me an answer. Vasako thinks with eyebrows drawn together. Vasako pretends to be thinking about the answer seriously. The physics master goes to him slowly, tiptoes him without making noise. He tiptoes to him and whispers loudly, say 30 years, say 30 years. So the physics master is prompting him to give the right answer. He comes and tells him in his ear, say 30 years, 30 years. The geography master winks at him and holds up 10 fingers 3 times to tell him that the answer is 13. Here, the history teacher asks such a silly question that anybody can answer this, but Vasako decides not to give the right answer. At that time, the physics master and the geography master try to prompt him. They attempt to help him to come out with the right answer. How does a physics master do it? He comes and tells him in his ears, look, 30 years. Geography master tries to prompt him by holding up 10 fingers 3 times. That means it is 30. Well, history teacher asks, but Vasakov keeps quiet. But Vasakov doesn't open his mouth. Vasakov, Mr. Principal, there's no way to run an examination. Now Vasakov gets angry with the physics teacher and the geography teacher because they are helping him to answer the question. So he says, so this is not the way to run an exam, conduct an exam. He indicates the physics master, this fellow is trying to make me cheat in the exam. I'm an honest student. I don't want to copy in the exam. I don't want to cheat in the exam. But look at this fellow, the physics teacher. He is trying to make me cheat in the exam. I won't do that. Principal, don't worry. I'll deal with that decisively, firmly to the physics master. Go away. Come on. Don't stand near the student. Get lost. The physics master slinks goes back to his place. Vasako, after much thought, you asked me, sir, you asked me, how long did the 30 years war last? Didn't you? Okay. Was that the question? History. Yes, that was a question. Vasako giving a dirty smile, right cunning smile, he says, I know. Exactly 7 meters. Now the question is, how long did the 30 years war last? And after thinking about the question for a long time, Vasakov comes out with a misleading answer. What is that? He says the answer is 7 meters. The question is, how long did the 30 years war last? The answer should be 30 years. But Vasakov comes out with a stupid answer, an irrelevant answer, because he wants to fail the exam. And what is the answer given by Vasakov? He says 7 meters. The 30 years of war lasted 7 meters. Now the teachers are all helpless, they are paralyzed. He looks about in triumph. Now the teachers are all worried because he has come out with a wrong answer. They can't pass him. And Vasakov is very happy, is looking about in triumph. Triumph here, success. Ha! 7 meters. No, I know it lasted that long. It is possible I am wrong. And if I am wrong, I fail in the exam. 7 meters, haha. 7 meters wrong. 7 meters. Please give me back my tuition fees. So, having given a wrong answer, he is demanding that his tuition fee should be paid back to him. The masters look at each other at their wits' ends. Now the teachers, all the teachers, math teacher, history teacher, physics teacher, geography teacher, and even the headmaster are at a loss to know what is happening. The masters look at each other. They're all at their wits' end. That means they're all helpless. Their minds are not working. They don't know how to proceed from here. Then the history teacher firmly, 7 meters, right, your answer is excellent. For some time, for a while, the history teacher and his colleagues feel helpless. They are at a loss, but now history teacher bounces back by saying, 7 meters, Mr. Vasakov, you said 7 meters, right, your answer is excellent. Vasakov can't believe it, incredulously can't believe what the history teacher is saying, and he asks him, Vasakov is asking the history teacher, what? What do you say? Did you say that I gave a right answer? Did you say that I gave a right answer? History master swallowing manfully and watching the principal out of the corner of his eye. Now the history master is trying to justify what he has said. What has he said? He has said that Vasakov's answer is excellent. Now he has to justify his statement. History teacher, swallowing manfully, watching the principal out of the corner of his eye, he tells Vasakov, Mr. Vasakov, your answer is correct. As a matter of fact, to tell you the truth, your answer is right. The candidate has shown us, now he is telling other teachers, including the headmaster, the candidate, Mr. Vasakov, has shown us that his thought processes are not merely superficial, not merely superficial, and that he has investigated, researched into or studied about the subject in accordance with modern researches based on he doesn't know what to say. Now the history teacher is trying to justify his statement that the answer is right. So he has to tell him something. He has to convince others that the answer given is right. So he begins saying that the candidate has shown us that his thought processes are not merely superficial, they are deep, they are profound, and that he has investigated the subject in accordance with modern researchers. Look at Vasakov, he is very intelligent. He is a scholar, he is a great intellectual because he has studied the subject in accordance with the modern researchers based on, then he doesn't know how to proceed. Then the math teacher intervenes. The math teacher pitches in by saying that, yeah, based on relativity, of course. Mr. Vasakov has investigated the subject in accordance with modern researchers based on. Some math teacher completes his sentence by saying that, yeah, it is based on relativity, of course. Look at Vasakov. Vasakov is a man who has understood the meaning of relativity, of course. The quantum theory, he says, yeah, he has studied. Look at this man. He has had just school education. He studied till the 10th standard, but still he knows what relativity is. He knows about the quantum theory. He knows about Planck. He knows about Einstein. So he is referring to various theories which are very popular in the field of science. For example, relativity, quantum theory, and he talks about great scientists like Planck and Einstein. And he say it's all very simple. To the history master, don't say another word. We understand perfectly. Einstein has taught us that. Einstein, who has given the theory of relativity, has taught us that time is as real as space and matter. Now, math teacher is talking about or referring to the theory of relativity propounded by, put forward by Albert Einstein. And he says Einstein has taught us that time is as real as space. It consists of atoms. Space and matter consist of atoms, and he says time is also made up of atoms and may be synthesized into a unified whole and may be measured like anything else. As you measure the length, width, and depth, you can measure even time. That is what Einstein has taught us. Reduce a mass system into a unit, and a year may be represented by a meter. Now he says if you reduce the mass system into units and a year, then a year can be shown, can be represented by a meter, or 7 years can be equated with 7 meters. We can even assert here, say formally, state that 30 years war lasted 7 years only because he doesn't know how to continue from here. So there is a break. He is thinking about it. He doesn't know how to proceed from there. But at that time, the history master comes to his rescue by saying that because actual fighting, actual warfare, fighting, battle took place only during half of each day, that is to say 12 hours out of 24. Now the math teacher is trying to say that when we reduce a mass system to a unit, a year can be represented by a meter. So we can say that 7 years is equal to 7 meters. But the math teacher cannot continue from there. Then history teacher comes to his rescue by saying that, look, actual warfare took place only during half of each day. The question was about a battle. How long did the battle last? 30 years. And what was the answer that Wasako should have given? 30 years. But he said 7 meters. Both the history teacher and the math teacher are trying to convince everybody that the answer 7 meters is right. Now history teacher has got a very nice argument. He says the actual warfare took place only during half of each day, that is to say 12 hours out of 24. So when we say the battle lasted 1 day, the battle actually took place just for 12 hours. 24 divided by 2. And the 30 years war at once become 15. So if that is the case, if this is true, 30 years is equal to 15 years. So when an army fights for 30 years, the fighting takes place only during half of each day. 24 hours nobody can fight. The battle takes place, actual fighting takes place only during 12 hours out of 24. And the 30 years, in that sense, 30 years can be reduced to 15 very easily. But not even 15 years were given to continuous fighting, incessant fighting, continuous fighting, because The fighters, combatants, had to eat 3 hours a day, reducing our 15 to 12 now. See, when we say a battle took place, a battle lasted 30 years, that means the actual fighting lasted just 15 years, not 30. 30 divided by 2. Now, 30 years 30 years can become 15, but 15 years were given up, not 15 years were given up, devoted to fighting, because the fighters had to eat 3 hours a day. So that reduces 15 years to 12 years. Right? So during the daytime, when the soldiers fight, they take a break in between. 3 times a day, they take a break because they need to have their breakfast, they need to have their lunch, they need to have their supper. So 50 years come down to 12. And if from this, if we deduct, minus, subtract the hours time given up to noonday siesta, afternoon sleep, to peaceful diversions and non-war to non-war activities, warlike activities, he wipes his brow. There's so much of difficulty he's trying to justify his statement. Now he says 30 years have become 15. 15 years get reduced to 12. But even out of 12, we need to deduct the hours, the time given up to afternoon sleep. See, after having lunch, it is customary for the fighters to take a siesta, afternoon nap. So after having lunch, every soldier takes rest. Okay? And they get into other peaceful diversion. Diversion, enjoyment, entertainment. They talk to their friends, they play cards, they drink, they crack jokes. So they need time for this. And there are so many non-warlike activities which are carried out. So he wipes up robe. He doesn't know how to continue from here. Then the math teacher comes to his rescue by saying, yeah, social distraction. Say, a human being is given to or has so many distractions or diversions, social diversions. We have left only the time which the candidate has represented by the Einsteinian equivalent of 7 meters. Now the math teacher says if you deduct the time given to eating, that is 3 hours a day, and then noonday siesta, peaceful diversion, non-warlike activities like social distraction. So if you deduct everything, then finally 30 years war comes down to 7 meters. That's why I am saying that Vasakov's answer is brilliant. Correct. I take it upon myself, gentlemen, to propose a grading of very good in history. Oof, he wipes his brow. Finally, math teacher succeeds in establishing that the answer given by Vasakov is very good. Staff, bravo, congrats, excellent, he has passed in history. They congratulate Vasakov. All the teachers congratulate Vasakov on passing in the exam. But Vasakov doesn't accept, he objects. But I don't understand. The principal says that there ends the examination. History, Mr. Vasakov, keep quiet. Your exam is over. Writing history, very good. The staff surround the history master and congratulate him on the success that he has got now. Now the examination physics. Now the next series exam, that is in physics. The physics master takes the place of the history teacher, Vasakov. Now we'll see something. You cheats, tricksters, you're all cunning. Now we'll see how you try to beat me. We'll just see. I'll be very careful. Physics master energetically. Come, come, okay, we'll have. Vasakov in a challenging tone defiantly. Well, what is going to happen? Ask your questions or don't. I haven't got any more time to waste. Mr. Teacher, come on, ask me the question. I have no time to waste. He stares at the physics master. He looks at him angrily. Oh, now I remember you. So many years ago, you taught me. Still, I remember those days. Do you know what we used to call you behind your back? Mr. Physics teacher, we had put a nickname. We had given you a nickname. The physics master smiles in agony, sadness, pain. We called you the cannibal man eater, because you were always chewing your thumbs, just you are doing now. The physics teacher has got a habit of chewing his thumb. So he says, Vasako tells him, when you were my teacher, we the students used to call you behind your back cannibal because you're always chewing your thumbs. The physics teacher is doing the same thing. Hearing what Vasako says, immediately he removes his thumb hastily, immediately. The rest of the staff smile. Yeah, that's what we called you. And by the way, do you remember the day you fell, tripped and stumbled on something, tripped and fell flat in the ale? Now, Vasakov is drawing the physics teacher's attention to an incident that took place when Vasakov was studying in the school. What was it? You remember that day you tripped and fell flat in the ale. What is ale? It's a passage between two rows of seats. Normally, the teachers walk along the aisle in the classroom. The passage that is there between two rows of seats. And Vasakov is telling him, you remember one day you tripped and stumbled on something and fell flat in the classroom in the aisle? Do you know who tied a string across from desk to desk? You would do that? I did it. Do you know you fell down in the class because before you came to the class, I tied a string across from one desk to another desk. So while you were walking in the aisle, you stumbled on that and fell flat in the class. Do you know who did it? At that time I didn't tell you. Now, let me tell you now that it was I who did it. Physics master who remembers the incident very clearly gets furious, angry. You did it? Vasako says, don't get excited, little man. Ask me a difficult question instead. Plow me, drill me, trouble me. Don't get excited, little man. Ask me a very difficult question. See whether you can trouble me. The physics master controls himself, well aware that Vasako is trying to irritate him very sweetly. Vasako wants to irritate the teacher because if he gets irritated, he'll come out with a difficult question which he cannot answer. Kind of you, very kind of you. Now tell me, Mr. Vasako. So physics teacher controls his anger and tells him, oh, you made me fall down in the class. Very good, kind of you. You were good. You were very good, very kind of you. And now tell me, Mr. Vasako, do clocks in church steeples really become smaller as you walk away from them, or do they merely appear to become smaller because of an optical illusion? So physics master comes out with a very good question and he asks Mr. Vasako, you must have seen clocks in church steeples towers. Do they really become smaller as you walk away from the church? Or do they merely appear to become smaller because of an optical illusion? The question is very silly. It sounds very profound, but it is very silly. The clocks do not become smaller. Everybody, even the stupidest man in this world will know the answer to this question. So he is asking such an easy question. Look at the question, Vasako. Do clocks in church steeples really become smaller as you walk away from them? Or do they merely appear to become smaller because of an optical illusion? What is the answer? Vasako. Oh, what absolute nonsense. Come on, what absolute rot stupidity. How should I know? Whenever I walk away from clocks, they get larger. Instead of giving the obvious answer, the right answer, he comes out with a stupid answer. What's that? He says, look, how should I know whether it becomes smaller or bigger? Whenever I walk away, let me tell you something. Whenever I walk away from clocks, they get larger. It is impossible. Invariably, if I want them to get smaller, I turn around, walk right up to them, and then they are not small at all. So he gives a silly answer, ridiculous, meaningless, absurd answer. What does he say? When I walk away from clocks, they get bigger. If I want them to get smaller, I turn around and walk right up to them. When I walk back up to the clocks, then they are not small at all. The physics teacher, in a word, just tell me in a word, answer the question in one word. What are you trying to say? Vasako, in a word, therefore, you give me the pain in the neck. You are an ass. That is my answer. Vasako irritates the teacher, again tries to make the teacher feel irritated by saying that I'll give you one word. In a word, if I should say, you give me pain in the neck. When I see you, I get pain in the neck. When I hear your question, I get pain in the neck. You are a donkey, you are an ass. That is my answer.